Okay, welcome to WasteLine3. We're going to add fittings to this system. Let's change this from wireframe to conceptual, give you a better idea. Also, let's take the visibility off about these drips. They are sometimes just a pain. Let's widen this out a lot. I found that was important. So I'm going to leave that go there. And what I want to do, that's the old guideline in there. We could get rid of it later, of course, by deleting or turning layers off. We should be on piping. See what layer this thing comes up with. It does not. It says layer 0. So we're going to have to later change it to some other layer. In this case here, we need to go to the spec viewer and we need to choose a gate valve for 3/4 and just choose this. It's really not the one that I like, but there it is, and that is how it goes in. Let's do the same thing here about widening out our available space. All right. Let's add another fitting. And we haven't got our T in yet, so let's not get too overboard with that. But that's going to get a little hinky with that. We're going to have some trouble, I'm pretty sure. And you leave that disconnect because that T is going to mess things up, and let's see what we can do with that. It's actually not a good angle. Let's try another angle for this. Okay. Let's go back to wireframe. And there you see we do have the guidelines. Now let's look in our specs for a 1.5" by reducing T. Okay, but reducing socket weld, reducing T. 3/4 to 1.5". Now let's go find 1.5" by 3/4 down here. And let's see if we can put it in our there you go. Oh, try that again. I missed it. And it doesn't. Let's just put it in there. And let's see if we can turn it. Okay, so let's just stop right there. We are at the right elevation. Do we have a? We do have a little bit of gap, not much. But anyways, let's try to shorten this and put that there. I'm not sure whether that solved the leakage problem, but this other stuff, that, let's see, escape, this elbow, this elbow, of this elbow, that elbow, that elbow, that elbow, or this piece of pipe in here. And we're going to move this closer. I don't want to take up too much space. Let's see what happens. Oh, it didn't do what we wanted it to do. So let's just get rid of this pipe. Make it easier to move. Let's go back to our other corner, better viewpoint, and also go back to conceptual. That, and that, and we want to move it towards the fitting. It looks good. Alright, so do we have piping in these systems? No, we don't. Let's take this plus symbol and drag it to the place where it belongs, which does not look right, but let's try it from the other way. That's better. And let's take this and do a plus and join that into that. So there we have our T's, our nipple and valve, and we should have a union above this thing here. Well, we will work on that, but that's how you can manipulate these things using conceptual. Make a nice little picture of what you're doing, and let's take a look at this from another angle. Let's take a look at our visibility for our drifts. Oh, I don't know where that drip is coming from, but let's try it. It's in that area. Okay, so we had some connection problems. Let's delete that. Well, the drip's gone away. Okay, so you can fight with your drips and put fittings in here and there. This case here, this has to be 8.5 between points. You can do a distance. Command, choose that, and we're somewhere close to 9 inches, 9.5, which we can shorten this if we have to. We gotta get the T in here. This has to be changed to a T. Delete that. Go in and get a 1.5 T. Not reducing, but socket weld. Insert in the model. Well, we screwed up there. Let's get rid of that. Try that again. Guess 1.5 T. Insert the model. Here we go. There. And this is 90 plus 90, and that's 0. So let's try 45. Bam. It does connect, but not without leaking. So let's delete this, and let's take a little plus and bring it over here. That's a leak from the top. That's what that's from. So get rid of your leaks, build your system, get the right specs, which is this knot, and that's how you do that. Makes it easy.